Hello students, welcome to Smart Decks. Today I will be taking your lecture Crop Production and Management, that is CBSE Class 8 Science. Okay, you can just follow the books NCERT and S.Chand for your reference. Okay, so make sure you watch the video till the end. So let's begin. The first thing that comes to your mind is what is a crop? A crop is generally defined as a group of plants or plants of similar kind that are grown on a large scale at a particular time. Okay, so suppose I plan to cultivate rice, so I just can't put only single sapling of rice and say okay, I'm cultivating rice. I can't say that. Okay, or even I put rice over here, then I put wheat over there, then I put cotton over there. So I can't do like this. It has to be similar kind of plants. Then it says that on a large scale means I can't say that I have cultivated rice in the backyard. I can't say like that. It has to be a considerable area, and you must have seen that specific crops are grown in specific time. Okay, so that is why we generally define crop as plants of the same kind grown or cultivated on a large scale at a particular season or time. Okay, that is a crop. Now there are different types of crops. We generally have two types, that is Kharif crops and Rabi crops. For Kharif crops, these are also known as monsoon crops. Why? Because they are grown or sown in the beginning of the monsoons, hence they are called as monsoon crops. So these type of crops require a hot climate and huge amount of water. That water comes from rainfall. Hence these type of crops get really affected from the rainfall pattern. Okay, so example you can say rice. Okay, now these type of crops are harvested in between September or October. Okay, this is all about Kharif crops. For Rabi crops, these crops are called as winter crops. Simple. Why? Because they are grown in the winter season and harvested somewhere around in the mid of March or April. Okay, these type of crops do not require so hot climate, just a mild temperature. Okay, you can say a warm or a cooler temperature climate, and not very water needing. Okay, this type of crops do not need water in very high quantities. Okay, they just need little amount of water. So generally these crops will not get affected by the rainfall. Example you can say wheat. Okay, we also have different type of crops like Zaid crops. Zaid crops are also known as summer crops because they are grown in the summer season. For example, watermelon, very yummy. And another is cash crops. What is cash crop? For example, if I say cotton, we just cannot eat cotton, right? So we grow cotton to sell it, hence it is called cash crops. Now we know what is a crop, we know the types of crops. Now we need to know how to grow a crop. So here are the steps. First step is preparation of soil. Next step is sowing the seeds. Next step is adding manure or fertilizer. What is a manure or fertilizer? These are some substances added to the soil for some extra nutrients in the soil. Okay. Next is irrigation, means providing water to your crops. Then we practice weeding. Weeding means removal of unwanted plants that grow along with your crop and damage your crop. Okay. Next, when your crops are grown well, okay, they are well mature, we harvest them. Okay, so we have different methods for harvesting. We'll come into that. So after harvesting, we need to separate the grains from the crops. The crops become fodder for the livestock, and the grains we separate them using various methods like threshing, winnowing, hand picking. Okay, so next we store the grains for our future use, because we can't eat all the grains in one day, right? Even Kumbhakaran can't. So we need to store it for our future use. So coming into the brief of these steps one by one. First is preparation of soil. What is preparation of soil? We prepare the soil for proper growth of the plants, to provide aeration in the soil, to provide proper texture of particles in the soil, to provide uniformity in the soil. Okay, for like when the plants will grow, their roots will grip the soil particles very nicely if your soil is well tilled or well plowed. Okay, the method is called tilling or plowing. So we provide aeration to the soil. Now why? Suppose I lock you up in a room, okay, then it is not that much uncomfortable. But in the same room, if I put 1,000 people and just lock it up, after some time you will feel suffocating. Okay, so this is why we provide aeration in the soil. The tools used are plow, okay, it is also called langal or langul. We also use hoe and cultivator. In the pic you see that is a cultivator, a mechanical equipment fitted at the back of a tractor. It is a claw type that scratches the soil like this and prepares the soil. Okay, after the soil is prepared, we practice sowing. Sowing means putting seeds into the ground. Okay, we have two methods. First is traditional, means as you see in the first pic, the farmer is just throwing the seeds into the ground. Make sure the seeds should be of good qualities, otherwise you will not have any saplings or any plants growing after some time. Okay, second method is seed drill or a mechanized way. In the second pic you see the seed drill attached at the back of a tractor. Okay, the seed drill puts the seed at a regular interval, which make the work very faster, very efficient. Okay, so soil is prepared, you put the seeds in. Now you need to give some nutrients in the soil. Okay, so nutrients are two types. One is manure, one is fertilizer. Manure is fully natural, it's organic, okay, and it's very cheap. For example, you say cow dung. Cow dung is available in the market, in the farm, okay, in the fields only, okay, and very cheap, okay, almost no price. But in case of fertilizer, okay, it is made of chemicals, it is made in the factories, okay, so it is costly, and also it provides specific nutrients, whereas the manure can't provide specific nutrients. Suppose I found that my soil it is lacking in nitrogenous contents, so I will put a fertilizer which is rich in nitrogen. So similarly, if my soil is lacking in some phosphorus contents, I will put it, which manure can't. Manure can't be specific, and hence fertilizer is nutrient specific. Okay, we can decide, since we prepare it using various proportions of chemicals. It is costly. Yes, so we add nutrients to the soil. After we add nutrients in the soil, the next stage is irrigation. We add water to the soil. There are various methods. Some traditional methods are moat. Moat means the pulley system dragging water from the wells. You must have seen this. Another is dheki, means putting a load at the one end, and from the other end you just pick up water. Okay. Another is chain pump, means a wheel is there containing buckets like this. Okay, and then the chain rotates and the bucket collects water from the bottom. So in this case, chain pump, we are using a pump for this, and for rahat we are using a cow. We are rotating the cow in case of a pump. The application is similar to draw water from the wells. In the modern techniques, we use sprinklers and drip irrigation system. Sprinklers are nothing but actually fawaras, okay, that spread water over a certain area. Okay, and drip irrigation, you can compare it to the deliveries of Flipkart, Amazon and other food deliveries that give your order at your doorstep. Means we are watering the plants at their step. Okay, so naturally pipes are laid on the fields, and little holes are made in the pipe where the plants are situated, so that the water which comes from the hole is directly put in the plant. So that is why the concept comes from door-to-door service of Flipkart, Amazon. Okay, you can just memorize. So watering is done. Next is weeding. What is weeding? So removal of unwanted plants. Okay, so why unwanted? Because they just suck all the nutrients, water, they take up the space, they take up the light which was available to your plants, your crops, but they take away. So you never want that type of plants, unwanted plants in your field, right? So that is why we usually remove that unwanted plants, and this is known as weeding. Okay, some examples are xanthium, okay, or parthenium, okay, etc. There are various kinds of weeds. You can just read it if you want. So after weeding is done, you give proper time for your plants to grow. So after your plants are ready, your crops are ready, so you need to harvest them, means cutting of crops. We use the methods like traditional method, that is laborers are employed, okay, to cut the crops. They usually cut the crop with sickle, okay, as you see in the first picture. In the second picture you see that is a mechanical method. It's fully machine operated and the machine is called as combined harvester. Means at the beginning it cuts the crops and at the end it separates the grains with the crops, okay. So it is far advanced, okay. In the third it is semi means laborers go and cut the crop and using the threshing machine as shown in the pic, they separate the grains from the crops, okay. This is what threshing is, okay. Using the machine they are just separating the grains from the crops. The crops become fodder for the animals, the eating material for the livestock animals, and we take away the grains, okay. So this is what is harvesting. Now we have the grains. Now we need to store it. Why to store it? For our future use. We need to also protect them from the growth of microorganisms. We need to protect them from rodents like rats or some other animals, birds, okay, some insects, okay. So we have to choose a very material that is safe from all this, okay. So we need to store the grains in a proper place. Generally we store the grains in two ways. One is silos. The silos are big cylindrical chambers where we store our grains, usually shown in the first pic, and in the second pic it is a granaries, or you can say godowns, okay. So this is the storage. So finally we know what is a crop, there are types of crops, okay, and the steps to grow a crop. So this is all about what is in a chapter, okay. The next we have to conclude the chapter like the agricultural sector, okay. It is the most vital sector for a country, okay, because agricultural sector produces food that we eat, and without food we are nothing. So there is a small message at the end of this video that is I am sharing with you all. As you can see in the picture, it says don't waste food. It literally feels bad when you see someone not getting something to eat and he or she has to die. So this is a really very dreadful or very sad event that even prevails in our country. So it's a small request to you all, so please don't waste food, okay. You can just contact the NGOs, you can contact the clubs, okay. They will take your remaining food and they will just give it to the poor people who really needs food to survive. So it's a request, please don't waste food, okay. Each and every inch of the food is precious, okay, because it really takes approx 3 months, okay, approx 90 days to produce rice, and it really takes half an hour to cook, and it really takes 1 minute to throw it out. So that's end of the chapter. It's a small message at the end of the video. Hope you like the video. So if you like the video, please put a like and subscribe the channel if you haven't, and share the video with your friends so that they also get the chance to learn with us. So we'll meet you again with the next video with a new chapter. Thank you.